Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm in the shop today. It's Monday. It's hot. Florida summer. We got 90-something degree weather with 100% humidity. Rains every day. It's like living in the jungle here. The feel-like weather is 102, 104 every single day. Got all the fans going in the shop. Just feels like being in a hair dryer. But you get used to it. I've been here for many years. I still complain about it. Every summer I complain. You know, I wouldn't be able to be lucky enough to be self-employed and to have my own motorcycle shop for as long as I have. Sinister City Motorcycles is going on 20 years. This year's our 20-year anniversary. I wouldn't be able to do this if I had never gone sober. That was the best investment I ever made in my future, was to sober up. I promote it for people because it really can propel your life forward in amazing ways at what feels like a light speed. You wonder why things are happening so slow for you. For me, it was because I wasn't putting in the work, the necessary thought every single day towards those goals. I was putting in work at the bar and getting rid of all my thoughts, just sitting there like with in between channels on an old TV set with just static. I mean, I would just check out. That was my way of dealing with life, was just to check out, run from my problems, run from my fears, and those things fester. I've done a lot of research on addiction, not only just personal growth type of research about myself, because when we go through a process of healing, of recovery, it's really a process of getting to know yourself, of learning about yourself. That's really what it is. But I've also done research on just psychologically, like what is addiction and why do we become addicted? One of the science facts behind addiction is that euphoric feeling that we get from getting high off of certain substances, whether it be alcohol or cocaine or whatever, that euphoria fires in our brain along the same neurological circuitry pathway as the sensation of being loved, of being nurtured. So a lot of people, if you're looking at the root cause of why they're getting high all the time, why they're ruining their lives in vice, it's because they're trying to fulfill a need. It's a nurturing feeling. They're trying to fulfill a need of love. It's important to understand why we get into the predicaments that we get into. In order to diagnose a vehicle, I have to be able to see clearly what's wrong with it. I can't lie to myself about it. What I want it to be isn't relevant. It's what it is. And you have to be able to see what that is in order to be able to change it. And luckily, pretty much everything is fixable. So when we identify the weaknesses that are within us and the root causes of why we have some of our problems, it's important to go laser focused in on that and to attack that. So for me, one of the reasons that I haven't had a relapse with my addiction in 20 years of being sober is because I learned the key towards what I was driving me towards addiction. What was my motivation to get fucked up all the time? It was because I wanted to feel that sensation of love. I wanted to be loved and accepted. Now, I may not have verbalized it that way back in those days. If you would have asked me, why are you spending every day at the bar? Why are you drinking your paychecks away? Why are you, being this type of person? I wouldn't have said, oh, it's because I just want to be loved. I wouldn't have said anything like that. But as I've gone into a process of personal growth and humbled up and really looked at where those scars and wounds are, it's not always fun to look at that shit. I've been able to identify, for me, that's what it was. And this is a common experience. I mean, tens of millions of people who go through addiction have this exact same root cause driving them towards why they're getting fucked up every single day. The beauty of it is that you can learn to love yourself. You can't be a sponge with those types of emotions. You have to be able to build it and fuel it from within. So self-love is a lifestyle. It's a daily practice. It's discipline. It's self-respect. It builds character. It was one of the best things I ever could have done for myself, because on a multifaceted level, it helped me to build standards for myself as far as to meet friends. It helped me to have standards for myself as far as my own behavior. I wouldn't allow myself to slip, because like a parent who has a rowdy teenager that they see potential in, they don't allow them to fuck up, and they may have to come down on them hard. They may have to put the law down. I never had that kind of self-respect before, but I started to build it, and I realized that I could use my restraint for the first time. It took me to try to go sober to learn how to build that sense of restraint. Because that's what you're going to do when you're going through those hard days, when life is hitting you hard. Those waves are high and you're barely surviving. My first go-to was to get some beers and get fucked up. But when you're going sober, you don't have that option. You don't want to keep taking 10 steps backwards for every 1 step forward. You never get anywhere that way. So you learn to build your restraint like any other kind of muscle. You learn to build those standards for what you'll allow and what you won't allow. It all comes from validation of self, from self-love. The more that you love yourself, the less that you're going to seek that sensation through vice, the less you're going to leech it off of other people and suck them dry. You'll be able to fulfill yourself with it, overflow with it, and dole it out to anybody else that needs it. Become a source of it, like the sun is a source of heat. The sun doesn't need to find a fuel source. You don't need to go there and fill it with propane once a month. It radiates from within, and that's what we're doing. Going sober was a sense of power. I had always felt when I was sober that that was my weakest point, and I ran from those problems for years and years and years, the problems that would come haunting me as I would go sober. And each day when I would wake up, I'd just be in a shitty mood, and I'd suffer through a 6 or an 8 or 10 hour work shift, whatever I had that day. And the second that bell rang, I was, to get me out of work, I was going to get fucked up. I'd get hammered there'd be nothing that could stop me from the second I was off of work until I passed out shitty fucking drunk. There was no time in there of dealing with problems. It was just always running. But when I got through the fear and realized that this is not really that bad of a fight, I can win this fight. This may be a hard fight, but it's a fight I can win. If you've ever been in a real fight, in a fist fight, and you've been in that scenario and you realize, I'm going to kick this motherfucker's ass. I'm going to fuck this guy up. That's what I realized. I had that same strength laying dormant within me, ready to attack, laser focus in on my weaknesses and to attack them. So going sober for me was a source of strength. It's helped me to build a brand. It's helped me to start a coaching business. It's helped me to write 3 books. It's helped me to have a great house with a pool. And I'm not trying to brag to anybody other than myself, because I know that I could be a step away from being in prison. I could be a step away, a couple days away from being homeless, going on credit, taking out credit to pay other loans. Now I have no debt. You got to get on top of your life. At some point, all the shit's going to start catching up with you, and you're going to wish that you would have started this journey earlier. So start it now. I'm going to be 50 years old tomorrow. I'm surprised I made it this far. I'm working on a second chance. I wasn't supposed to go past 30. I got a second chance. Like a real deal. I make a whole other video about that. I got a real second chance in life. And I haven't wasted a single fucking day of it. And I won't waste any more time. So whatever motivation you need, get on top of your shit. Put down that vice. Stop chasing pleasure. Chase pain. No pain, no gain. Thanks for watching.